So this lesson's on isosceles triangles. An isosceles triangle has two base angles and it has two congruent legs. Or you could also say it has two congruent base angles. So the base angles in an isosceles triangle will be congruent. This is called the vertex angle here, the one that's not the same. And then it's got two legs that would also be congruent. So the base angles of an isosceles triangle, they are congruent. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is looking at number 1 here. It says find the base angles. This is the vertex angle because these two base angles will be congruent. And we know that the three angles together would equal 180. So if I call this x and I call this x, then I have x plus 30 should equal the 180 degrees inside a triangle. So then what you can do is you can say I have 180, and we're going to subtract 30, and then you're going to take that and divide by 2. Why are we going to divide by 2? Well, if we subtract 30 from both sides, we've got 2x is equal to 150, and if I divide both sides by 2, then x would be 75. So each base angle is 75 degrees. On number 2 here, you've got another isosceles triangle. We recognize it because here we have two congruent sides. So if I'm looking for z, I can say z is going to be congruent to this side here, so z is definitely got to be 14. My base angles will be congruent, so this is congruent to this, so my y is definitely going to be 34 degrees. And so if I'm trying to find x, since I've got two base angles here of 34 degrees, I can do 2 times 34 plus whatever x is, and together that should equal 180. So you're going to take 180, and you're going to subtract it from 2 times 34 degrees, and we get that the base angle here is going to be 112 degrees. So we have 112. Okay, so then let's look at number 3. Number 3, we've got a couple triangles going on here. Since we've got some base angles, we know that this side is going to be congruent to this side, which is going to be congruent to this side, which is congruent to this side, because these are all a set of isosceles triangles due to these base angles. So if I'm looking for A and B, if I look at A is going to be the same measure as this side here, which is 11, which is the same as what B is going to be, 11. Then, to find our x here, our base angles are going to still be congruent. So the 6x plus 23 is still going to equal the base angle in the other triangle, 9x minus 1. So if I subtract 6x from both sides, I get 3x. Add 1 to both sides, I get 24. Divide both sides by 3, and x is going to equal 8. So those are my answers for this problem. So then on number 4, it says we're going to be finding the measurement of the two sides here. And so, again, look very carefully at this. See, we've got base angles here. So if these are base angles, we could say, even with this one, we know that all the sides are going to be congruent. And really, I know that because this is an equilateral triangle. And equilateral triangles are also, or equiangular triangles are also equilateral. So since it's equiangular, it is equilateral as well, which means both of these sides are the same. And since we've got base angles here, then we know that their sides are going to be congruent, so these two sides are going to be congruent. So really, to solve this, we can now set 8x plus 1 equal to 9x minus 2. And now we subtract 8x from both sides, so we get x, we add 2 to both sides, so x is equal to 3. So when it says find the measurement of the side, then make sure you plug it back in. So we've got 8 times 3 plus 1. So we can clean that up. So 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 makes this side length here 25, as well as this one. Alright, so number 5, again, seeing that we have isosceles triangle right here and here. If I know that this is 68 degrees, then this S has to be 68 degrees as well, because the base angles are going to be congruent. So if these are both 68 degrees, it means I've got 2 of them, plus whatever this vertex angle is for the large isosceles triangle. So we're going to say x, and again, all 3 of those should be 180. So if we do 2 times 68, we'd actually have that is equal to 136 plus x equals 180. And we're going to subtract that from 180, and we're going to get x is equal to 44 degrees. So this here is 44 degrees. Now, because we've got that this is 16 here, and we've got that these two triangles here are going to have this angle here, and they're going to have a side here. We could even use the reflexive property here and say that they've got a side. And because we're dealing with isosceles triangle, our base angles are congruent. Chances are here we're looking at K, which this would then bisect it in half. So K is going to be 16. So if this is 16, then our A is going to be this angle here. So if these two angles are going to be congruent, which is marked here and here, then what we would see is that if this is a whole of 44, then if we cut that in half, then that means each of these angles is 22. So then if I'm looking for this last angle here, I can just do 180 minus this angle here, which was 68, minus the 22, and whatever that's left with will leave me with angle A. So we've got 180 minus 68 minus 22, which leaves me with a 90-degree angle. It did kind of look like that, but we always need to confirm with the math. So S, where is S? S was 68 degrees, and so there you go. Finally, number 6 says if we have a vertex angle of an isosceles triangle, so let's go ahead and draw it. So here's my isosceles triangle. This is the vertex angle, and it says what is the measure of this? So we're not sure. If the base angles measure 18. So that's 18 and that's 18. So then all we have to do is 180 minus the 2 times the 18, and whatever's left will give me whatever is remaining for my x. So it's 180 minus 2 times 18, which is 36. So then that leaves me with 144. Clearly, I did not draw this picture to scale. We'd be dealing with an obtuse angle.